Let's go ahead and bring in Steiner Sports CEO, Brandon Steiner.
One of the country's top memorabilia mogul.
I have an unbelievable guest, Brandon Steiner.
Brandon's second to none.
Hello, we're back. Project X. And by the way, a lot of you have asked for the show to be at the same time each week. So we've had like a lot of meetings about this. We thought about this. We care what you say. We listen to all your messages. If you have an entrepreneurial idea right now, by the way, message in with your phone number. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to take every one of your ideas and messages and hopefully respond to you. But every Wednesday, Ben, am I right or wrong? 2 o'clock?
Yeah.
Every Wednesday, 2 o'clock, we're going to do a show. And by the way, we'll be doing other shows whenever we feel like it. But Wednesday, 2 o'clock. And we'll be doing some other shows. Just got to watch for the alerts. I'm sorry we can't be that consistent, but we think it's important that at least once a week we'll try to do like our premiere, the best show of the week. And by the way, this week would be no different, though it's Wednesday, a little earlier than 2. We have John Ruhlin, who I think you're going to get a lot out of. I mean, a serial entrepreneur right up my alley. As soon as I met this guy, immediately I knew it was magic. The way he has approached the business. This is a must-read. Giftology really gives you a perspective of you'll never give a gift, I think, the same way after you've read this book, and nor should you. I'm a big fan of this, even before I met him, and I'm a much bigger fan now having met him and started getting involved in reading this book because it gets you really thinking about how far you can go to make an impression. So John Ruhlin, thank you. Great to have you on.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
And I got to ask you, what's your story, and how does this even come about? I mean, how do you get to this point?
Yeah, it wasn't part of the master plan. I was a farm boy from Ohio, and was just trying to get out of Dodge. I grew up in a town of 500 people, one flashing light, and I wanted to go make mom proud, and thought I'd go be a doctor because I thought doctors made a lot of money. I got good.
They do.
School. Yeah, they. So I'm like either a doctor, lawyer. That was like I didn't know what an entrepreneur was. But
College?
I went into college and I was gonna, I interned with Cutco, the knife company, out of desperation. I didn't know there was sales.
Relation with the Cutco. When you sent me some knives, I was like, Cutco knives, but never presented like this. I mean, it was gorgeous. But where'd you go to college?
A small Christian school called Malone University.
Okay.
They're in Canton, Football Hall of Fame.
Cool.
And so I interned with them. I thought maybe it would last a summer. I had no sales experience. I wore glasses to the interview to look smarter. Like I was pretty green. But I was dating a girl, and at the time, her dad was on the board of trustees, and he was an attorney, but he was a rainmaker. He'd buy the land that turned into Walmart next year, and so I saw him always giving things away. Like he'd find deals on noodles, buy everybody in town, like literally like a year's supply of noodles. And so I pitched him the idea of giving away. I thought he'd give away pocket knives. All his clients were men, and so I work up the courage to talk to him, and I'm sweating because I'm nervous. And I ended up, he was like, John, I don't want to order the pocket knives. Could I order the paring knives? I'm like, you're going to give grown men, like CEOs of multi-million-dollar companies, a kitchen item? And he said, you're wondering why? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, in 40 years of business, the reason I have more deal flow than I can handle is I find that if you take care of the entire family, everything else takes care of itself. And so for me, it was that lightning bolt moment that it wasn't about the knife. It was about the delivery of appreciation and delivering reciprocity. And so I started to pitch that idea to other people, and as a college kid, I was investing $200 in carving sets, which most people were buying beer. And but I would.
So you're in college when you really got this idea started.
I was 20 years old.
Oh boy!
But it started to open up doors with $200 million companies.
Were your parents upset with you? Because that's an important thing. A lot of people watching, like, you have your wife who was looking at me like, you're going to sell autographed balls and get players to make an appearance. Were your parents with you on this, or disappointed, or?
I think they were. They always supported me and trusted me, but in the back of their mind, I could tell they're like, really, is this going to even last a summer? Let alone like, they definitely didn't think it was going to become a career or a business. They were like, sure, we'll give you our list of people that we know. And so I'm driving all over Ohio, 3 hours for an appointment. I did 40 appointments in my first 10 days. So I was motivated. I was like, I committed. I'm like, I'll give it 6 weeks all in. And if I don't see any results, even like a little bit of results, but I ended up crushing it because I was down in an area where I had a little bit of support initially. And nobody was teaching gifting at that time. Like even right now, like most people are into swag, promotional products. Like the idea of spending $500 on a gift for most people is like their entire budget, not for one gift. So by the time I was a senior in college, I was starting to open up doors with NASCAR and some of the biggest companies on the planet because we were giving gifts that were nicer than most people would give as a billion-dollar company.
So give me an example of the aha moment. Was this something that all of a sudden said, hey, this is not just some pocket knife. but really something that took you to the next level.
Yeah, I think when I invested in a carving set early on to try to get a meeting with a big $200 million company, and I was like, I'm going to put a handwritten note inside, carve out 5 minutes for me, I promise to be worth your time. And $200 to a college kid, I mean, that buys a lot of beer, they buy a lot, I mean, that's a lot of books, a lot of anything. And 17 years ago was really a lot. And so, but when I got the phone call from the assistant 2 weeks later saying, hey, Mr. Smith will meet with you. And I walk in I'm at the time 21 years old. And he walks in, he's like in his 60s. And he's expecting somebody in their 50s, like a seasoned sales executive. And he walked in and he's like, I'm confused. Are you here to sell me knives? And I start nervously laughing. I'm like, no, I'm here to help you and your 1,000 sales reps do exactly what I did to you to your top 10,000 relationships. And his jaw hit the ground. And he's like, you're really good. And I walked out of there with a PO for literally 1,000 knife sets. And so, Cutco is amazing training. They've worked with about 1.5 million college kids over the last 70 years. By the time I was a senior, because of those moments, I had become their largest in the history of the company.
But in your premiums now, as your company has emerged, you create all kinds of gifts?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll give you a couple examples, because the knife's always kind of... I took your knives you sent me and regifted those. I don't know if it's appropriate to regift. I don't know. I've gotten a lot of flack from my kids and my family about regifts. I'm a little notorious for that, but hey, isn't a gift a gift? And I thought that, listen, I would cut to the chase, which I wrote on that, so I'm cutting to the chase. You just moved into a new apartment. I think these knives will be perfect for you. And, they're just killing me.
They ripped you to shreds.
But I think it was kind of fun. I think it got their attention, so I guess that won. I was a winner.
It got their attention for
but
sure.
You do other things besides knives, though.
Yeah. I mean, we've done the knives. They're still, a top 10 product for us. But I mean, we've sent people saunas to get their attention. We've sent people
take the heat off.
We've had actually for some of the pro sports teams, we took old locker room wood from the Cubs, and they're like, this stuff's falling apart. We don't know what to do with it, and so we found some crazy people to remake the wood into Bluetooth speakers. So they had numbered 1 through 400. So that's kind of a page out of your book of like doing something that's practical and useful at the same time.
I send the ball with a pitcher's a professional pitcher. I hope you're looking forward to my pitch.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hitting a home run with you, and I'll send a bat.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
It's very cool. I mean, it's practical, it's unique, it's different.
But the packaging, the way you do it, even this book, I mean, inside with the beautiful inside.
It costs 300% more to print that book than the normal book.
It just feels like I'm getting a gift. By the way, why this book? What? If someone's out there like, why should they get this book?
Yeah.
What are they going to get out of this book?
Well, I think most people, businesses, everybody says relationships matter. That's their most valuable asset. Relationship with clients, suppliers, employees. Most leaders suck. Most sales reps suck at actually doing gratitude. Like everybody's like, it's a hot thing to say, I have my 5-minute journal. I'm feeling gratitude, which is great for you, but it's selfish. Like, how are you going to actually do gratitude and show gratitude? The book walks you through our game plan. It's our playbook. There's no Giftology 2 coming out, next year. Like, it's all the details of exactly what questions to ask yourself, what to think about, how to engage people to drive more referrals. Like a lot of businesses, like if you got an extra 5 referrals per year, like I just spoke to about 180 of the top wealth managers in the country. And I said, if you added 5 new of your ideal client, what would that add to your bottom line? And most of them was $500,000 for 5 people. I said, what are you doing to inspire people to refer business, not just reward? Most people, it's like, hey, I got a new client. Here's my $100 Starbucks gift card. They don't care about your Starbucks gift card. But if you loved on your top 20 or your top 200 relationships on the front end, now they want to reciprocate. Now they want to go act on your behalf. You know this as well as anybody. You go and you add value over and over and over again, and eventually people want to reciprocate back. Not everybody does, but you plant enough good seeds. That book is our entire playbook of how we've landed speaking engagements at Google and how we've landed Morgan Stanley as a client, some of the biggest companies in the world.
So not only you use the book as an entry fee to get you to go in and explain how important what your company does, but it inspires them to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
You're
right.
I'm in town speaking at Google to 100 CEOs. That's why I'm in New York right now. But yeah, most people they've never been taught this. Like, there's no gift strategy course.
I think that the premise, like with gifting, a lot of times people think that they can get a relationship or make a relationship by giving you a gift. I think it's something that starts a relationship, and if done with authenticity, meaning you actually send them something with some love.
Yep.
Not the most expensive, but a gift with love that kind of matches up.
Yeah.
starts a relationship, and how a relationship starts is very important. I think people underestimate how a relationship gets started.
Yep.
I always send, I'll call up, I'm trying to get to a CEO back in my early days.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's taking my calls. I mean, it's impossible. So I call the secretary. She's sick of me. I said, listen, just tell me the shoe size. Just tell me your guy's shoe size or the woman that you work for shoe size and her and his favorite sport. Loves basketball, loves tennis. I send him a left sneaker of the best basketball shoe that's being made, a nice pair of Jordans.
Yep.
And I write a little note. I say, I want to get off to the right foot with you and show you how you could really, really grow your business. There's nobody that hasn't called me that wants me to bring over that right foot. I only send him the left shoe.
Yep.
I say, I want to get off to the right foot with you and show you some of these different examples how I can help you grow your business. And every one of them, they want that right sneaker.
Of course they do. And
They love the creativity of it.
Most people would go take that and say, "Well, I don't want to spend $150 on a pair of Jordans, so I'm gonna get a $20 pair of Walmart whatever," and they completely ruin it. And that's a lot of like we're cut from the same cloth. As if you're gonna
You got to buy the Mac Daddy one.
you got to go all in.
big. You got to go
It's better to do one really nice.
Go
gift
big or
than
go
100.
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wait. I have these ice scrapers from the broken hockey sticks.
Yep.
And I wait till the threat of snow. And 2 days before I go, I don't know, I had these broken hockey sticks. I honestly had nothing. I know what I was doing with them. About to throw them out, and I figured I'd make some ice scrapers. And given that it's going to be snow in the next couple of days, I figured you'd use this. People love that.
They do.
You know,
Yeah.
I know the people that are driving, they probably don't have an ice scraper.
Yep.
Now they got this hockey stick that was a professional player's stick, and they're scraping.
It's cool. It's memorable. It's not
Yeah.
your typical trinket. No.
Gifting is fun, too. You have fun with it.
I would agree.
Right? I mean, I think people look at it as a chore. Oh, God, I got to get these gifts. Hence, you get the edible arrangement or box of chocolates. Like, I can't believe people send me alcohol. I really don't drink. You send me booze, whiskey. Like, I'm an easy mark. You know, send me some, like, Topps rookie card or, I don't know, something like that. Or maybe a capsule of dirt. No, don't send me that. But, you know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
have fun with it. And I think people look at it as more of a chore. I think when I get the feeling, when I read your book and get to know you a little bit, you look at this as like fun. It's like there's a game.
It's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. It's addictive. Like when you see, people's responses to it. Like sometimes it makes people's day, week, year. Like I've had people, reach back out to me, spouses on the knife thing. Like they could afford any knife or any leather, whatever they wanted. But the fact that somebody thought of them and put their name on it, made it all about them. Like they're calling me, or I meet them at these galas, and they're tears in their eyes. Like they're like, John, this is in 30 years. This is the most thoughtful thing anybody's ever sent in business.
Especially if you're out there and you're trying to get that meeting, trying to meet with maybe an investor, or you're trying to meet with that first person you need their distribution or help with. These are the things that get you through the door. So important. We're going to do a couple of phone calls, Ben. We got a couple?
Yep, first one is from Ryan Raffles. He's got a company called New Chip.
New Chip.
That specializes in, it's a new technology to help everyday people invest in different startup companies. So,
All right, we're ready to roll. Ryan, you there? How you doing? Hey, Ryan, you there? Hi, are you there?
You hear him, right?
Ryan, I hear you. I do. What's happening?
All right.
We're coming back to you in a few minutes. Give us a second. Working out the kinks.
Right.
Working out the kinks. By the way, don't worry. Game 7, we still got plenty of time. I know a lot of you are worried about Game 7. It's nothing like a Game 7, though.
No, man.
Even if a game you don't even care about, you like the tension.
Of course.
We want to see the lose. We want to see the win, right?
Yeah.
That joy of...
It's been a great series, too, the
It's
back
been
and
a good
forth.
series. Back and forth. Thought Verlander had it last night, but it's very tough to put desperate teams away. I always say, I always like watching games where there's an elimination involved because you see the desperateness. And I like to try to incorporate that in my sales team.
Yeah.
Like, make believe you're about to be eliminated. Make believe you're about to lose your job, and you start acting like that with that kind of urgency.
Desperation is,
It's really good motivator.
It is a very good motivator. That's why I went and sold knives. I mean, as a college kid, if I wouldn't have been desperate, I sure as heck wouldn't have been.
It's so important to create that urgency, and it's the game within the game, kind of. You've got to make sure you're incorporating that in. And I think that if you can go play that game with your head, like, you got this gun to your head. That's why I like watching games 6 and 7s. The other thing I like to watch is I like to watch games where they're blowouts. 8-0, 8th inning. My son turns to me. He's like 8 years old. Dad, we can go now. oh, this game's just getting started. I want to see who's here to play. I want you to watch this game and see who's playing the game, not the score. Let's see who's really working the count, who's as focused as now as they were in the first inning, regardless of the score.
Yep.
You know, I'd sit there with my son. We'd always stay in these blowouts and watch the end of these games to really see who the players that really were keepers.
Yep.
And that's how we knew in '98 there was a blowout game at the beginning, and they just battled. And I think the score ended up being 8-5, but there was definitely, they weren't ready to let the game go. Easy could say, you know, we're probably not going to score 8 runs between these two innings, but that's how you know. And that's kind of what I liked about these two teams. It doesn't seem like any score is going to be enough. There's never going to be a stoppage.
Nope, they're all in no matter what the score is.
And the question you want to ask yourself is like, is there a stoppage when the score gets a little lopsided? Are you stopping?
Most
Right?
I mean, you see sales reps do that all the time.
Yeah.
Where they hit their quota, and they're done. And I mean, one of the reasons we've done really well is we play the game against ourselves, like our best self, not anybody else. And so I don't care what anybody else's sales are. Like,
I hit my quota. I'm like, I don't want to leave. My wife's like, you're having a great month. Where are you? I'm like, I don't want to leave. I'm on a roll.
I have
I'm
the
hot.
momentum. The momentum
I'm
is
hot.
huge.
Momentum is big.
Yeah,
I'm hot.
takes the pressure off, and then you can keep going.
Yeah, I'll celebrate like I don't know, 40, 50 years from now. It's celebration is overrated. But a lot of guys, or a lot of salespeople, they want to go out for the big lunch after they make the big sale. Me, I can't wait to get back to my desk, figuring if I made one, I can make another.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
Same way.
So
So who are you rooting for? Are you able to
I kind of want Houston to win because I feel like the city could use the boost and
true.
use that kind of love and attention. So I'm going to go that way. Although there's something about Dodger Blue. You?
The Astros are clients, so I'm rooting for.
Yeah, it'd be nice for them to win,
Oh man,
right?
yeah, good people. They need
First
they-
time they've ever won, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
as far
or
as
since
I'm-
like 100 years ago or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like to see that. I think we need more. I don't know if this sounds right. I think we need more different teams to win. It's bothersome what's going on in basketball. If you look at this, there's only a few teams seems to be winning in the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And not enough teams are winning or have a chance to win. It gets depressing.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time Knicks won was 1973. I mean, it's crazy. It's too long. I'm feeling that way a little bit now in football too. But I think with the football, at least, I feel like it is management, it is coaching. I think everybody has a chance to win. Whereas basketball, if you don't have LeBron, right? I mean, you're screwed.
Or KD or
Right?
Steph. Or, yeah.
Now they're all like
stacked team.
grouping together. Like, no, that happens in my game. I group together. I get the best players to win. But that's a pickup game of over 40. You're damn right. If I'm going to the school, I'm bringing the ringers, man. I'm not looking to compete. I'm looking to win and get. I want the ball. But right, you go to
Yeah.
the park now. I go with ringers now. That's my new thing.
Did you go to the
So if you
show
see
up?
me at a park, I go with like 4 college players. They kind of limp in there, and then
Like
they all know
Uncle
get the
Drew?
rebound, pass it to me.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Oh, I love that. I go into the city, right into the neighborhood. I go right into a street park. We got our boom box with us.
Come
We're ready to
on.
go. And I bring some ballers. I bring some height. Guys, in case the game does get a little close, they can take care of business. We definitely don't want to leave the court. And it's so much fun. What's crazy is the kids don't pick up on it. Like, this guy is a Division I player for the University of Miami. He's 6'8". Did you not occur that you can't guard him? They don't see it.
Have you videotaped any of these?
No, I've been.
really should.
Yeah, probably should, because it's funny. I'm like the only white guy on the court. Well, I brought another white guy with me, but it's just fun hanging out. They're having fun. There is something about playing street ball,
Yeah.
and there is no fear in those kids. Like, one of these games, I got really close. I mean, we had such a stacked up. They didn't care.
No,
They call me Larry. I said, that's a compliment. All right, we got another call. we got the call.
We're good. This is Ryan.
Oh, this is Ryan. Ryan, how are you, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Brandon?
All right, so we're here with John Ruhlin, an entrepreneur. Hit us with what's going on with you and what help you need. What's your product and what help do you need?
Hey, what's going on? It's been a while. Good seeing you, too. I haven't seen you since next gen. Pleasure
Well, you'll
meeting
see
you.
me next summer. Love that conference.
I know. I love your book, by the way, that Giftology book and the whole, everything. I've been watching the show so far. Excellent. Really good stuff you're putting out there. I couldn't agree more. So my name is Ryan Raffles. I'm the founder and CEO of NewChip. I founded 3 startups, one acquired by a lead investor recently. Decade experience in building teams. I've raised millions in the public and private sectors. I bootstrap companies from 0 to 6 figures of my own. Kind of my story. I graduated 15, started college early, joined the service at 17. Graduated top of my class, Air and Missile Defense School. I'm an Army guy.
You were in the Army? Thanks for your service. How many years?
5 years.
Well, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
Ryan's a beast. Ryan's an awesome guy.
Awesome. I left the Army in 2012. I moved back to Austin, worked in public policy, campaign advising, lobbying, became the youngest city commissioner in Texas history. I'm really, really proud of all my work I did for veterans. So what New Chip is, the company I'm doing right now, I founded with this vision of building a better world through entrepreneurship. And as you know, and many people know, there's a funding gap for early stage companies. There's Shark Tank and there's some VCs and there's angels. But really, there's tens of thousands of companies every year that don't get funding and don't get off the ground because they need just a little bit of money to get there. And we're achieving that vision to connect startups with a new generation of investors that invest in what they believe in. So basically, we're like the Shark Tank of
So if I'm a next gen kid, like a high school kid, and you've got an idea, you go to you with that idea, and you can help fund it.
Yeah, we can help fund it, and he can also invest in companies on the platform as affordable as $100. So you can buy shares in companies you believe in without these high capital commitments you usually see in angel
Tinder
investment.
for startups investing.
Is it like Timber for startups without investing?
Yeah, exactly. It's like Tinder for startups.
That's cool.
Swipe left or right on the app, and you can like a company.
Oh
not
wow!
like it.
Oh, I see.
It's really cool.
So now, if you like these companies, how do you respond? You can make an investment by like as little money or as much as you want.
Yeah, you can put it. So the minimum is usually about $100. There's bigger companies that are like pre-IPO that are about to like list on an exchange that are maybe doing like $50 million or more.
What's your biggest success on this app?
The rate of success. Well, so right now, in terms of companies being funded and in terms of companies like being sold, there's a lot of metrics we use.
Well, give me your biggest success as far as funding a company.
So yeah, about 30% of companies reach their goals, and companies can raise anywhere between $100,000 to $1 million to $50 million.
Wow.
And you get equity too, I think, instead of just like crowdfunding for like.
So it's not.
Yeah, it's like crowdfunding 2.0. It's Kickstarter and Indiegogo were great if you want a T-shirt and a blender, but most of us want a T-shirt and stock. So.
That's cool.
Yeah, stock's better than a T-shirt any day. I would have to agree.
And forget the T-shirt. I'd rather go with a really nice gift. But this was on that topic. But is anything holding you up from growing this, or are you just constantly on the prowl? If there's somebody out there that has an idea, they can go to this app because maybe you can help them. Is that the goal?
So yeah, I'd say we're reaching. So we're closing a seed round right now, and we've been working hard at this for about a year. We're closing a little bit about 1.5 million. We've got some awesome investors from like Goldman Sachs, some big banking areas, finance investors around the world. So we're really, really doing good. We're closing that in the next couple of weeks, and we're just looking to scale and grow. We're looking for companies to help. We're looking for users to check out the platform, to give us feedback.
Slow down. Whoa. Are you looking for funding, or you're closing the 1.5, or you still want people?
1.5,
So you're done. You don't need any help with the funding.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to more investors. Legally, I can't put stuff out across the web because of our funding regulations. But if you're an accredited investor, you can feel free to reach out to us, and we'd love to have a conversation.
But the goal in this conversation is if somebody's watching and you have a startup idea, you want to go to this app and maybe run it by you because maybe you can help raise money?
Exactly. So, yeah, the number one thing we can provide, I think, to the viewers and the audience is people that have a startup idea that aren't venture capital ready, that don't have 10,000 users or whatever, but they have a little bit of traction. Maybe they built a little bit of something, or maybe they're not there yet, but they have a great team. And we really help jumpstart those companies through us and our partners. We have about 30-plus partners around the U.S. That we work with, and we don't just do startup deals. So we started off with startups, but now we do real estate and cryptocurrencies as well. We're similar to the Mint, and all these alternative investments you can actually manage on our platform.
Well, thank you, Ryan. I want to give you one bit of tidbit, Ryan. It's really important to be clear with the help you need and want and what you're trying to get. You got to have that part of your pitch tight. And I think it's very confusing a lot of times when I talk to people and I actually ask them, like, I gave you a genie bottle and you rubbed it, what would you ask for? And a lot of people can't answer that.
That's true.
Let me trust you. When I get that genie bottle, every now and then I find one, I'm not hesitant with what I'm asking for, what I need. I've got that list written in my head. I've thought it out. Just every now and then my wife comes home and says, I know exactly what I want. Okay? A client comes in, I know exactly what I want. I got an investor, I know exactly what I want. So, be clear and don't be afraid and bashful about your ambition. You've earned it. You got a great idea, and you're helping people. But we got to know what you need. We got to know what you want. It's really important to be clear about it and be distinct and confident. In this conversation, it doesn't seem like you need the funding that much, but it seems like you're looking for people with ideas to come to this app. I love this app, by the way.
Hey, Ryan,
love this app
Ryan,
idea.
you got critical mass as far as enough people actually on the platform funding ideas, or what are some of the metrics?
Yeah. Well, so we're roughly at about 10,000 investors right now.
That's
we
cool.
ready to kind of bootstrap, build it up.
I'm tweeting this out right now because there's so many people on my LinkedIn that are looking for this kind of help. This is like a godsend. This is amazing what you're doing. And there's so many people that are stuck just at that financial end. They don't need a lot of money, but this is perfect.
Yeah, 25 grand,
Yeah.
50 grand. It looks like a lot of them are that, under 100,000, get somebody off the ground and be able to take their idea and actually.
But you remember we were talking about your first $200. Like, that first $10,000 is like, sometimes it's a mountain you can't even imagine climbing.
Yeah.
Right? I started Steiner with $4,000. It was a mountain. I took that $4,000 out. I mean, God, if I, $3,200 was for the computer and the printer. I had $800 left to start Steiner. I mean, I was like, every dime counted. So I understand the value of $1. And a lot of people out there watching, I mean, I hope you realize this is a gift. And I hope you check that out. I'm going right on my LinkedIn with this idea, because I think it's genius and I think it's amazing. I gave you the tap of the owl, which I don't give to most people. The light switch has gone on for me. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Please keep in touch. I want to hear from you because I want to see how this thing evolves and how well you do over the course of time. And good luck.
Awesome. Thanks, Brandon.
Cool. Thanks for joining.
Ryan's awesome.
Yeah, Ryan's the man. I'd say that's a well thought out idea.
Yeah. Well, he
Wish I had
jumped
that.
on and gave his whole bio, and he wasn't clear on what he was asking for, but I mean the concept is
Yeah,
spot
that's
on.
amazing. How many people out there that just need that small amount of funding? And if I saw that, maybe I would kick in a couple $1,000. Because I'm going to go to this app myself.
Yeah.
See if I want to go throw a couple dollars around.
Well, there's cool micro lending sites where you go, give $100 and somebody in a third world country can start a business for under $100, which is pretty amazing. But this is like taking that same kind of concept where you throw $100 on a blackjack table and don't think anything of it. Here you can throw $100 down, and that means a lot more to the entrepreneur than it did to you.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because in a lot of ways, like, serial entrepreneurs are gamblers, and we don't really necessarily like going on a blackjack table, but we like throwing $100 down.
All day
And
long.
I think a lot of times people just forget to ask.
Yeah.
I remember starting Steiner, like I had a pretty wealthy neighbor, and I was telling him the trial and tribulation I had in borrowing money. He said, "Why don't you just ask me? I would have given you that money." And I'm like, never thought.
Yeah.
But just asking, what could the worst thing could happen? You could say no.
Well, it'd be a weird conversation to ask somebody for $100, just like to ask 1,000 people for $100. But here,
At the time, I needed 100,000, and for that guy, given the situation, he basically said, "I would have given you that in a heartbeat."
that's
Just
amazing.
to help you, and I made a little bit of money on it. I wouldn't have killed you on it.
Yeah.
Much more than that, maybe it would have come at a more severe price. Did you have money? Did you have money problems at the beginning? How'd you get your funding?
Yeah, I mean, I went out and just hustled and sold. Fortunately, because the way Cutco set up, I didn't have to come out of money with inventory. Like, they would just cut me the commission check, so I didn't have to hold a warehouse and all those things. So it really provided me the working capital then to go venture into other things. But without that kind of an arrangement, I mean, I think a lot of people are stuck. Like 20 grand is a big deal to somebody, and I think a lot of the entrepreneurs are getting educated on you can go ask for money. I don't think 17 years ago I would have had the boldness to go ask for money. I just went out and hustled.
Same, yeah. But probably looking back, I probably should have gotten better at it. What's next for you? I mean, is the game for you just finding the next company and coming up with a resolution of like what the next cool thing that they can send out as a gift to drive and grow their business?
I mean, the goal for us with the book, with the speaking, with the course Giftology course, like we want to be known as we put our flag in the ground is when people think about high level strategic gifting, using gratitude as a competitive advantage, they think of us and they want to collaborate with us. So the educational piece has been massive. So we're going to continue to grow that, and we'll add other product lines on. But really, at the end of the day, we want to take the profits from Ruhlin Group and go invest into other businesses.
How many employees? How big a company are you?
I mean, 10 employees. Now, the fortunate thing is the Cutcos of the world, the leather companies, they give us dedicated staff at their supplier.
I like 10 employees, though, by the way. I miss the 10 employee company.
Yeah.
Everything mattered. If one person didn't show, 10% of your workforce was out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when shit mattered. I mean, like, and you were just, you have a meeting and that was it.
Yeah.
You sat down, and now you got. It takes me 3 weeks to get an idea through over here at Steiner. Not that they listen anyway, but right? It's so as you get bigger, it's harder and harder. But now you sit down, the 10 of you get together. Next thing you know, the horses, boom, you're out of the gate.
Yeah, and we're all remote. I mean, we don't have any warehouses, very little inventory. So I mean, we've been able to grow a nice size company without having the overhead of most traditional businesses. So I mean, with technology today, I mean, it's amazing what you can get done virtually. So all of our employees work from home. Most of them are women, stay-at-home moms that they want to have a full-time job, but also be able to take their kid to school or whatever else.
I got to ask you about the you were telling me this before, but I love this, and I think we're all trying to get our companies to run better, be better with our employees. Guys, you hear that? But anyway, tell us a little bit about what you do for your employees. There was one thing in particular that you do for your employees, and
yeah, well, one of the questions we talk about in the book, like what would they really want that they wouldn't do for themselves? I see you kind of doing that for people, and we decided all of our, a lot of our workforce is that are stay-at-home moms. They would never go do this for themselves, but it'd make their life easier. So we pay every other week, every employee, no questions asked, gets their house cleaned. And you want to talk about their husband?
Is your house cleaned?
Yeah, $2,000.
So random.
Yeah, but it their lives go easier. They don't feel as guilty because they're not able to keep up the home and work and take care of kids, husband, all that kind of stuff. It gives us like $20,000-$30,000 in value. We never lose an employee.
You send somebody to the person's home to clean.
Every single employee gets a house cleaner every other week. Period. Yeah.
Love that.
And we took it a step further. I noticed with my wife, she would always, like, the babysitter was a big deal when we go out for date night. And so they once a month or once a quarter, they get unlimited babysitter for date night, and we cover their dinner and their movies. But the babysitter is the thing. Like, they can go till 2 a.m. I don't care. We'll pay the bill. And it doesn't cost that much. But for them, it's like a big deal for them to go out stress-free and see how
beautiful gift that matters.
It's a beautiful gift that
it's
matters.
Authentic.
Yeah.
I'm going out tonight on my boss. He's sending me out to make sure that I have a nice, quiet, beautiful night with my loved one.
Yep.
Love that.
Yeah, it goes a long way.
Did you get that idea from somebody in particular, or they were just such a random? I never heard that before.
I just asked myself the question: what would they really want that they wouldn't do for themselves?
Cool.
And oftentimes, it's not necessarily what you would want;
Love
it's what
that.
they would want.
Love that. That's cool.
Phone call.
Another call. We'll take another call. Who we got?
So this is from Steve. He's got a new team sport called Zone Ball.
Steve, zone ball. Oh boy. Now, first of all, with football, the demise of football, we are going to need. I mean, that sport's going the wrong direction. I know we all know that. We all haven't admitted that, but we all know that sport is going the wrong direction, and it can't happen fast enough. By the way, I'm not going to go into my rant, but we all know the NFL is a sport that should not be for long. It's not safe. It's not healthy. It's not producing a good vibe, not a good energy. Spiritually, it's a little off. I still watch a little bit of it because I'm used to doing that, but it's... Anyway, zone ball. Steve, we're with you. How are you?
Hello there. How you doing?
I'm good. We're with John Ruhlin as well. We're talking about some different entrepreneurial ideas. What's your idea? Tell me about zone ball.
Well, zone ball, I want to learn how to turn this into an actual social sports league, leading on to a professional league from there. So I need to know all about how to meet the right people, how to find those people who know how to do sports leagues, and take everything that I've done up until this point and then move on from there.
So is this a rec league? This is the kind of thing you'd set up kind of in it's almost like the lawyers league. Like basketball has a lawyers league in every city, or kickball leagues. I see now there's soccer leagues, kind of like where adults play. I assume there's adults, right? Zone ball.
Yeah, it can be adults. I mean, we've been having some leagues across the country in grade schools and middle schools and high schools. A lot of demo games out there, and we're selling the actual game kit, through a company called NASCO, and it's getting popular. We've been getting some leagues out in the UK as well, but I envision this to be a social sports league, much like how kickball and volleyball and dodgeball is.
What's the website? What's the website we can look at the? Is there a website that explains how the game gets played?
You want me to explain how the game is played?
Yeah. What's the website also for the viewers out there that are watching? If they could look it up on their computer.
Yeah, they can go to zoneballsport.com.
Okay.
And ZONE ball sport. Zoneballsport.
Now, I have a lot of ADHD issues, OCD issues. Can you explain how the game gets played relatively quickly?
Yeah, sure.
All right, go
You
ahead.
got two teams on a rectangular court. There's a goal in the center. Now, the goal kind of looks like, the top of of an arch, like an A frame. Two backboards made to form an A, and there's holes in the center. And the center zone surrounds, that goal, so they can't enter that zone. So you basically are passing, double dribbling the ball around. If you're on offense, take a shot on goal. If the team on defense gets it, they can take it back to the outside line on either side. So it's kind of like half-court basketball with a goal in the center, with two outside lines.
That's cool. Where are you at with it now? How many people are playing the sport right now?
Right now, it's all about, we don't have any leagues, official leagues right now. We just have all the demo games. So we can't really assess how many. Whenever a demo game happens,
How many
we're
kits
out
have you
there.
sold? How many kits have you sold?
Are you asking how many kids per team or how many players per team?
No, I'm asking how many of those. You talked about the kit, like the zone ball, the ball, the goal, the whole 9 yards. How many of those have you sold?
Last I heard, I think last year was about 15 to 17,000 units, and it's been selling really well. I know because I get the residual check, every 3 months, so that works out pretty nice.
Well, my question would be is why not go set up a satellite league or go to one town that you're comfortable with and get everybody playing and then use the social media, use that as kind of a staple, because everybody's looking for more things for their kids or adults or a combination to do. Set up one league and then people can copy that, because you have all these kickball and soccer and basketball leagues and all over the country. It'd be nothing for everybody to start. If your game is to go sell more units, then why not get show a bunch of people how to organize this thing, and then all of a sudden it'll kind of spread like wildfire.
I'd like to. I would like to just kind of start. It all comes down to getting the insurance, getting my LLC all set up so I'm all insured and all protected. Because events, I want to make sure that everybody's safe when they're playing the game.
But is the insurance for the product or insurance while people are playing?
Well, insure the actual league while people are playing. I mean, the product is insured through the company that manufactures, the deal I made to manufacture it. I would love to form the first official league and start from there. So I agree with you. I would love to go to a place, find the place that I think is the right place to do it, start the official game right there, do some demo games, and then attract people to it, and then see where it comes from there. I would love to start that. Well, I'm currently living in New Jersey, born and raised in Long Island, or on Long Island is the right way of saying it. So right now I'm in Jersey. So it's either going to be a Jersey location or I could do something in Manhattan. I'm open for anything. I just want to work with the people that know how to market the league correctly.
Have you reached out to any of the companies that actually that's their whole entire business is running those sports leagues? I know the guy that runs it in Jersey and in the New York area. There's another guy that's big out in the Pacific Northwest, and then the gal who owns the largest one in Canada is out of Toronto. But I mean, they're working with 10, 20, 30, in some cases 100,000 people, and it's all the traditional sports. It's volleyball, it's those sorts of things. But I got to imagine if you could have one point of contact that could take that and run with it, and they would front the money for the insurance, all that kind of stuff. I think there's probably a key, maybe 5 or 10 people that could take this and run with it if they like it. Now, you may have to go prove out the concept on your own if they don't like the idea and prove that it's valid. But it's, if I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about who are the top 5 people I need to be in front of, and I'm going to go all in to make sure I'm meeting with those people.
Looks safe. Looks simple.
Yeah.
Even if you started with a school and supplied them with the products, how much that costs? The school's insured.
Yep.
And then start with one school, see how it goes. But I think being able to get some social media and some footage of some competitiveness on your website, because I see the sport on the website, but not really the competition of it all. But imagine being able to get some footage, which is easy to do these days. Even if you started a Boys and Girls Club or a high school or a middle school and just showed that, created a little work with the athletic department. And then it spreads like wildfire once it seems to be a proven concept. Let them help you work out the kinks by just supplying them the product.
Well, I did reach out to a few people, some of the social sports league, and some people said that they didn't know what zone ball was, so they couldn't work for me. So it all kind of comes down to either I need to do it myself, or, like I said, like you mentioned, those 4 or 5 people who would work with me, I'm ready to talk to him. And I think all the kinks have been worked out.
Yeah, but Steve, nobody's showing up for you.
Have you called
Steve,
email?
nobody's showing up for you, getting into, spreading your dream out. You got to get up, get a relationship going with either one of these leagues or even one of these rec leagues or a Boys and Girls Club or a JCC or a YMCA, and sit down. And if you're going to donate the product to get them started, why wouldn't they? You're basically just talking with the council who develops events and activities for that particular school or center. You can't expect to do that on the phone or expect the people that are selling that product to do that. You got to do that, but I think it's worth it. I think you actually want something.
I want to do it myself. I seriously want to.
What's stopping you? Hold on. Whoa. What's stopping you?
Nothing. I'm ready to go now.
To make sure. Because the story I'm getting is that, I'm kind of getting a little bit of a sorry story, as opposed to like, you did the hard part. You came up with a great idea, and actually simple, not that expensive. It seems to take care of a problem which we're dying for more activities for our kids or even for adults. Yeah. You nailed it. You did good work here. Why not see the rest of it through and go put it into play? Make a little bit of an investment by taking some of these units and help them get the competition started. And then through social media, you send these videos to other schools, JCCs, boys clubs. Before you know it, they'll all be buying your stuff.
Are you most of the conversations been through the phone, Steve?
Yeah, they've been through the phone. Yeah.
You gotta go look eye to eye. They gotta feel, touch this. I mean, you need to go have conversations, even if it's cold calling them. I mean, I mean, we do it with the gifting, but you need to shock and awe them and get eyeball to eyeball to have the conversation. This is, I mean, it's a sport, for crying out loud. You need to be building that relationship 1-to-1, not by phone, not by email. Like this is old school. Build the relationship, shake their hand, make it real.
But Steve, you're a products guy, I guess, right? Are you a products guy?
I'm a products guy. I guess label is creative. I mean, I'm out there to make anything happen, so I'm ready to go for it.
Well, start up by getting up tomorrow morning and go and visit somebody and show them your product and see if they want to start a league or see if they want to start a little competition in their day camp or in their middle school after school process or something like that. I think you're going to be surprised at the result. And then you just take your camera out, or you could find some teenage kid that is going to be more capable than anybody to go film some of that and then pop that on social media, and then you make a little bit of investment to go and boost those videos, whether it be on Facebook or whatever, and direct those videos to activity directors, athletic directors of high schools, or your target audience. But it seems like you got a product that's targeted towards probably teenagers or kids even a little younger. This is stuff that the kids should be playing in school. It's active, it's simple, easy to set up. Am I reading you wrong, or am I reading this product right?
I created it.
All right. Well, hopefully you get the gist of it. Keep in touch with me. I like this idea, by the way. There's a winner.
Thank you.
And
thank you very much.
The problem is, the last chapter of your book is you've almost sold too many units for your own good. And I think it's going to hurt you a little bit. Don't worry about those sales. Worry about how you're going to get, you're creating a movement. That's a sport. You create a movement about a sport, and you come up with the reasons why people should play a sport like this. Because it's safe. Because you get good cardio. Because there's teamwork involved. You come up with a movement like this, you got to put a few pieces together, and you got to get yourself in the middle of it. Hard work is done coming up with a product and actually getting somebody to make it and sell it for you. Now you've got to go sell people on using that product and how they use it, which means you can't do that on the phone. It means you got to get up off your ass and go visit some people and go sell the sport in. And everything you do, videotape, and everything you do, make sure you have it on tape and make sure you're keeping track of it, because all that stuff is repurposable.
Yep.
Right. I even have like a Zone Ball TV and option on the Zone Ball website. So I have shot a lot of video, but I'm more than ready to shoot some more.
I need you to send me a kit of this thing at some point, because I can't think of 50 million people that I would want to, show it to, and people that own camps, people that are teachers in high schools and grade schools, and everyone's looking for stuff for their kids to do after school. Everyone.
Yeah.
Or during school and everything else. You're on something. Thanks for joining us. Good luck. Keep in touch. Love your entrepreneurial spirit. Good luck with this.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate all the info.
Thanks for joining. If you have an idea, you got something, don't get stuck. Don't let a bump in the road put you on the side of the road. Send a message, phone number, we'll call you, we'll check it out, we'll try to have you come in studio, or we'll call you up, we'll talk it through. I'm hoping somebody's watching that really likes that idea. I'm thinking about Steve Frenchman, who runs the Lawyers League in New York City. There's so many people that would go and run with this idea.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping, that when people see that, maybe they'll connect with Steve offline. You go on the website, take a look. It's a good sport, good idea.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. Closing remarks. What's next for you? What's? Give me the best thing that can happen for you. What's the best case scenario that can happen to you over the next 12 months?
It's happening. I mean, we're getting on stages. We just spoke at Conscious Capitalism in front of 250 CEOs that are all, from $1 million to $20 billion in revenue. So I would say just progression of we're executing the education platform. If I can speak and teach in front of the right groups of people, and I want 1 million leaders to go out there and start to leverage and be more generous with all of their key stakeholders, all of their key relationships. So.
And not just look at gifting as a line item.
No.
Big takeaway in this book again. Great book, by the way. If you're young, I know you don't think you have a lot of money. You start with, you always have a little bit of money to send the right gift to get yourself started, and that can get you the next job, the internship. Doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to be smart.
Right mentor, yeah.
What's the big takeaway on this book for anybody that's thinking about buying this book? I assume you get it on Amazon. Is that the place to get it?
Yeah, Amazon, Audible, Kindle, all that kind of stuff. Cool. Yeah, I mean, the big idea is that relationships matter, and that if you look throughout history, even in old Bible times, kings would give other kings certain gifts based upon the value of the relationship. And if the value is high, you gave a high level gift, because that was the representation, the tangible representation. And if you say relationships matter, your spouse, with your kids, with your employees, with your clients, I don't care who it is, with another human being, then go all in on how you show that gratitude, because most people are checking a box and they've mailed it in. And because of that, it's one of the few levers left in business that you can really stand out and be different. Everybody drives the same Lexus or BMW or car. They have, everybody looks a certain way online. But when you actually show gratitude like it matters, people notice in our very digital age, because the old school stuff is more relevant now than it ever has been.
Here. People want to get a hold of you. How do they do that?
I would say how about I offer a free gift and they can go
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Free.
Free gift.
Can you say free?
So,
by the way, my book is free. If you go to steinersports.com, if you go on the homepage, you'll see it. It's free. And a lot of you have been taking advantage. Smart. Anyway.
Yeah. So if they go to
free, I love free.
If they go to giftologybook.com/Steiner, most people avoid pain more than they go towards pleasure. So it's the 10 worst gifts to avoid giving. Actually, that one's not live yet. So let's direct them to giftologybook.com/Hyatt, HYATT. If they go to that, they can download for free the 10 worst gifts to avoid. You talked about alcohol. It's on there. Gift cards are on there. Consumables, the edible arrangements, all of those things that you just naturally talked about being the worst gifts. If you stay away from those 10 things, that's most people's playbook. I give wine, I give food, I give gift cards. They're like, oh, what's left to give? I'm like, give something that's going to remain.
People send me a box of chocolate. I'm on a diet for the last 12 years. So it's not going to change.
So is half the country.
Yeah, I'm on a diet.
Gluten-free this and...
Don't send me chocolate. Do not send me popcorn. I don't even care if you send me anything, but I mean, it makes me. I'd rather you send me nothing than send me something that's really the wrong gift.
And if you are going to send a gift, don't send it between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's the dark pit. I'm a gifting guy, and I'll send $350,000 in gifts this year. Not one dime will go out between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Why?
Because it's the noisiest, most cluttered time of the year. And if, as an entrepreneur, we want to invest $1 and get $5 back, that's the worst return on investment. Most people's conference tables are ready to collapse from all the crap that they get at the holidays.
When's the best time?
When it's unexpected and when it's non-obligatory. Give them a gift as a just because. Middle of March, it's cold, whatever else. I was just thinking of you. Just love working with you. I just love the partnership. You blow people away. Now you could send the same gift to 1,000 people, but it feels like the only gift that went out.
John Ruhlin. John, I don't like you. I love you. You got it right on the head, my man.
Thanks, man.
I don't think you could have said it better. Till next time, remember Wednesday at 2 and whenever else we feel like it. Please join us on Project X. We've got a bunch of live shows coming up. Keep an eye on Facebook notifications. You'll see the next show. For all you entrepreneurs out there, keep swimming. When the waters get rough, the sharks will always keep swimming. You don't see any of them dying off. Keep swimming. Swim strong. We'll see you next time.